so this recipe only gives us partial instructions on how to make this. So I'm just gonna wing it. It doesn't say to heat up. I'm deciding to use vegetable broth. It just says any liquid. So I called my mom and she said, I want to use canned salmon. She's like, what liquid do you think would go good with it? And she said, probably vegetable broth. So that's what I've got here. I'm just gonna heat it up and I'm gonna add the gelatin to it. And then we'll mix it all around so the gelatin dissolves. And I did wash my fish aspic mold. Even though it's been hanging up on the wall, I did wash it, so it's clean. Okay, so we're gonna do, it says 3 envelopes. This stuff's kind of expensive. It's like $4 for that little box. Oh, maybe you let it bloom over cold water. Oh, hang on. Okay, I should read the instructions. There are no instructions. Oh no, it does say boil. Bring 3 cups to a boil. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna heat it up. There's really not very many instructions. So 3 of these. It says to add this to cold water and then mix in hot water. I mean, we're just gonna do it this way. I think it'll be okay. All right, just a sec. So this recipe, like, you can follow this to make a sweet fruit mousse mold. It says mousse mold. Or you can do like a savory one, like chicken or fish or, you know, whatever really you want. So some of these ingredients you wouldn't include in the sweet one because, like, I'm gonna add onion powder, Worcestershire sauce. You wouldn't want to include those in a fruit one. It called for salad dressing, and when I was at Fred Meyer, I forgot to pick. It just says thick salad dressing, and I'm not buying a bottle of salad dressing for this. So I'm just going to use this keto Thousand Island dressing, and I'm sure that's going to be an interesting choice. But let's add our onion powder, and I will make sure that I include the recipe down below in the video's description box for you. I'll just include it exactly how it's written on this card. There's a little bit on the back. But this container, oh, here we go, and a teaspoon of Worcestershire. So this container had the recipes all categorized. This was in the diet section. And since it's January and everybody's making their resolutions, I thought, well, maybe people would be interested in a whatever year this recipe is from, probably the 50s, a diet 50s recipe. My husband Dan's a bodybuilder, in case you don't know, and he's in his cut cycle right now, so he's watching what he eats. So I think he'll appreciate that we thought of him and made this for him. Okay. Alright, it smells weird. Hang on. Gelatin molds or aspics or whatever you want to call them. They were pretty popular in the 50s. And I'm trying to remember if I've ever done a savory one. I don't think I have. So this is, oh, okay. All right, so the recipe calls for pot cheese, which is a type of cheese, but I had to look it up. They said it could be hard to find in stores, but that it was very similar to cottage cheese and that you could use cottage cheese as a substitute. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using cottage cheese. And, oh boy. We'll see how this turns out. That smoked salmon was kind of expensive. It was almost $9 for that little tiny can. I mean, I guess I could have used chicken of the sea, but I've heard that Cole's, this brand. I've heard that this Cole's brand is good, and so I'm like, well, the recipe's gonna need all the help it can get. So, might as well do that. Come on, boil, baby. And this doesn't talk about, it basically says that you just want to kind of add everything when aspic is cold, but before it sets, fold in other ingredients. And the other ingredient is basically this drained, broken up salmon. So I don't know if I need to chill this in the aspic mold, but then it doesn't make sense to fold the salmon in the aspic mold, or do I put it in put it in a bowl and then chill it? I don't know. We'll just experiment. Okay, it's coming to a boil. I'm gonna boil it for a few seconds. I'm pretty sure all that gelatin's dissolved. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take it off the heat. Oh, it stinks. Okay, it's off the heat. I'm just assuming this is when the cottage cheese goes in. Mix it up. Oh, okay. All right. Now what do I do with it? I'm just gonna let it cool. I'm gonna let it cool. Okay, it's been like 30 seconds. I'm actually going to put this in the fridge. I think it'll cool down a little bit faster. Okay, so I put it in a bowl and then I stuck it in the freezer and it's starting to set up. So let's add our salmon. And this is in olive oil. I don't know why I'm holding that up to the camera. I'm gonna drain this and grab a fork. Okay. You could probably save the olive oil and use it for something, but I'm just gonna drain it into my can of grease and I'm gonna break it up with a fork. Okay, so now that's in little chunks. It smells good. It smells actually really good. So I'm just gonna put the salmon in here, and the recipe says to just, some that I can't get out, it says to just fold it in. So you can see how it's setting up, but it's not completely set. That's what you want. Oh man, my cat's here. Hi, Tully. He says, I smell that salmon. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, I guess it really was setting up. All right, good thing I pulled it out just in the nick of time. So I think all of this will fit in this fish mold. I don't know if I need to spray this with oil or not, because the recipe, of course, doesn't say. I guess it wouldn't hurt. I don't know if I need to do this or not, so I'm just going to spray it with some cooking spray, just in case it doesn't stick, because that would. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh shit. Sorry for the swear. Okay, I don't think this is all going to fit, and I just dumped a bunch on the kitchen counter. How do you do this? Oh boy. Okay, so I can fill it about, I have a little bit left over. Maybe I'll just stick it in something else. Let me put this in the fridge. I've made a huge mess. Okay, I have another little mold. I think the rest of this will fit in. I've already sprayed it. So let's get that in there, and then we'll just put it both in the fridge and let them set up until they're firm. That's probably going to take a few hours. So I will see you guys when it's time to taste these. Okay, so it's been a few hours and it appears set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the bottom under some warm water to kind of just loosen her up a bit. Dan, you want to come witness this?
No.
And I don't have I have this fish platter. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to try to unmold it in the, but it's not flat. Oh, it worked. Oh my gosh. My fish gelatin and my fish platter. Look at this thing. All right, I'm gonna take a picture of it real quick. Okay, Dan, say hi to the camera.
Hello.
Dan has graciously offered to taste this, the salmon mousse mold. Dan, I put a good quality smoked salmon in there, but I'm not sure. When I smelled the salmon after I took it out of the tin, it didn't really smell very smoked to me, so I'm not sure how. Make sure you get some fish in there. Is it bad?
I don't like that.
You don't like it? What does it taste like?
Butter.
It tastes like butter?
Yeah.
Hang on. All right, can you come over here?
It tastes like fishy butter.
Oh.
It tastes really funny.
All right, I see a piece of salmon right here. I'm gonna. Okay, I got it all. I got salmon. I don't really like fish, but I'm trying to learn to like fish.
Try it, Molly.
This is not the way. There's cottage cheese salmon.
Eat it.
It smells like cat food.
Eat it. Yeah.
I don't want to chill.
Yeah, that's what I said. How is it?
I'm trying to give it.
It doesn't look like you're enjoying that.
Oh, close up. I spit it out.
What'd you think?
It's the texture. Why in the world? So this is a diet food? Well, I can see why it's diet food. You don't want to eat it. I mean, it's just cold and gelatinous with fish and cottage cheese chunk floating in it. I can't even imagine. Okay, I don't want to be rude because there might be somebody out there that actually really likes this. If you like this dish, like a meaty gelatin, or you know somebody that likes a meaty gelatin, please tell me how you eat it. Because like I said, I suggested Dan, I'm like, maybe we need to put this on a cracker with some other condiments and eat it that way, or maybe eating it straight up just isn't the right way to do it. So if you are familiar with this dish, please tell me how you eat it, because I don't think this is it.
Did this take you to Flavor Town?
The flavor wasn't bad. It was actually, I'm really surprised. I've never had canned salmon before, but it's not fishy at all. I ate a big chunk. Well, I had a big chunk of salmon in my mouth, and it was more like chicken. It didn't really taste like fish, which I appreciate because I don't like that fish flavor. But the flavor wasn't bad. But it was nothing to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just tasted like vegetable broth and chicken. It wasn't offensive. It was just kind of boring. I don't like the cold gelatinous. It's weird. I don't know why anybody would do this. But I got to use my fish mold for the first time, so that's and my fish platter, pretty exciting. So please, tell me if I'm doing this wrong. There's got to be another way to eat this. Maybe you serve it with a sauce. Maybe you serve it. I'm talking to you, Dan. Maybe you serve it with a sauce. I don't know. But Telly, come here. Telly.
Abby.
Would you like some of this? Would you like some of this? People yelled at me once, left me a nasty comment for the cat being on the counter. He's just a participant. Yeah, like I said, maybe it'd be good on a cracker with something else on it. Hot sauce? I don't know. It's the cold. That's what I don't like about it. Not necessarily the texture, just like the cold, slimy, weird.
Gross.
Yeah. Anyways, I found this recipe, obviously, on this card that somebody wrote, and it was in their diet section. And so, this is a diet food.
Maybe that's why it's in the diet section, because it's so gross you can't eat it.
Yeah, maybe. And when they took the tag off. When I found this, it was in this tobacco tin. And it's obviously full, so I'll be making more recipes from this, but it's full of recipes. Whoever made this, it was labeled like from the 30s through the 70s, I think, and there's old newspaper clippings, things like that with dates on it. So I'm not sure what year this recipe card was written. I'd imagine maybe the 50s when this stuff was really popular. but I don't know. But if you, and like I said, if you have any insight on how to eat this dish, please let me know. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.